Without this, the action, the how-to, and strategy will not get revealed. Without this, you won't know if you're wasting precious resources and time. Without this, how do you know that the actions and decisions and how-to and strategies you're currently implementing are actually aligned for your highest timeline? And that, my friends, is vision. I just walked a couple masterminds through this process, Visionary Alignment Program. And these are masterminds filled with highly successful, high 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs. And already some of you might be saying, but don't they have a vision? They've already built a success. You would be surprised that even at this level, there's still fears and doubts that come up. There's still visionary alignment processes. And at this level, it is not about doing more. As a high performer, you know that at this level, it is about refinement. It is about potency, quality, intentionality. And I want to demonstrate for you right now by giving you some examples and also some questions you can begin to ask yourself. Whether you're an entrepreneur who has a crystal clear vision, but there might be things along that path that aren't in alignment with how you're acting. Or you feel disconnected from your vision. Something feels off. As you're building your business, things still feel heavy. This process, this visionary alignment program I have coming next week, is going to help you with that. So let me demonstrate. For one client in the mastermind, she recognized she had built a business doing sales calls for herself, and also sales calls having a sales team. This was her vision. She already built a successful business, and she was still operating in that way of being. But through this process, she recognized that over time, her ideal client she was attracting felt off. Her conversion rates felt off. And for some of us here right now, we're going to say, oh, duh, it's messaging, marketing. And it can be. But for her, it wasn't. Because as she tuned in and recognized the vision that she had built, it was no longer aligned with where she was going. And she recognized that sales calls and part of this process were no longer a part of where she was going. However, the actions, the decisions, the strategies that she was implementing was still one of that old frequency. You might be saying, but she's already successful. But things were feeling off. She was disconnected in some way. And she recognized, no wonder, I'm building what was my vision, but it's no longer my vision for where I'm going. So a question I want to ask you to stir up some curiosity and clarity and awareness is this. Where in your business or life do you feel like you're pushing hard, but not getting the results that you want? The output is not matching the input. And does your vision truly align with who you are now, or has it shifted? For some of us, we answer these questions like, yeah, duh. Great. Use the questions as clarity, contrast, or confirmation. She had no idea that she was operating in this frequency, in this paradigm. And now she looked back and recognized all her actions, all her decisions, all her strategies, all her sneaky self-sabotage patterns were the reason why she was actually hitting this plateau over and over again. She had killer messaging. But actually, she didn't want to build her business in that way anymore. And she decided to completely shift how she was moving. We've heard this before too. A plane that leaves just 1 degree off from where it started. By the time it lands, it's in a completely new country and hundreds of miles away. For her, this was a shift, and it completely changed the path of the actions, the how-to, and strategy. Because now with this clarity, what comes forward is the next steps, the how-to. Just like in Google Maps, when we know where we are and we know where we're going, and it's actually aligned with where we're at the highest timeline, not what we build just because, the path gets revealed. At this level, it's refinement. Another example, another beautiful client in the mastermind was recognizing that through this we had unconscious conflicts. she had an unconscious conflict of fear of visibility. Now, for a lot of us, we don't walk around being like, oh, I'm scared of visibility. We don't talk like that. But it's demonstrated in your actions, your results, what you say, your frequency. These things are all I pick up right away. I'm like, this is not aligned. How you're saying something, what you're saying, and how you're saying it reveal lots to me. But for her, she had the systems in place. She had the strategies. She's built this business. But she kept coming up against this plateau. Things felt heavy for her. And as we're going through this and uncovering unconscious conflicts, where the incongruence is between your conscious desires and what's actually happening, your subconscious patterns and beliefs. There's incongruence there. You might achieve the result, but it's going to come at a cost. It's going to feel heavy, hard. No matter what result you achieve, it's not going to feel good, which is what she was experiencing. And for her, she recognized that, holy crap, the fear of visibility is actually lacing all of my actions and strategies and how-tos I've been doing up until this point. As we dove deeper into that, it was around perfectionism. And she saw, just like the light being turned on, because once you see something, you can't unsee it. She saw how every action, how she was showing up, how she was making decisions on her offers, on her reaching out, on her collaborations. She saw that it was operating from the frequency of perfectionism. As a business owner, it's not to say that you cannot achieve that result. You absolutely can with these fears, 100%. But I guarantee you it's coming at a cost. It's feeling heavy. There's resistance. We're not enjoying the experience. And what is it building a business if we're not enjoying the experience, if it's always stressful and pressure and hard all the time? That doesn't have to be that way. She immediately saw from that paradigm, from that belief, from that frequency, how she was showing up. Because as we know, what's in the cause, you're the cause. By law of cause and effect, what's in the cause is also experienced in the result. And no matter how much she was achieving, the next milestone, the next plateau, the next busting through that plateau, until she uncovered and cleared this unconscious conflict of perfectionism, it was stunting her. It was slowing her down. All of us have blind spots. And so a fun play of words I want to ask you, one way you can begin to uncover an unconscious conflict is think of your vision. She was dialed into her vision. This process helped her refine it. But she got to recognize, oh my gosh, I'm going up a hill right now and I'm wearing this baggage. How much easier would it be to go up that hill or even change the hill and take off the baggage of rocks? Or think of it like putting on jackets. We're wearing a bunch of stuff that's not us through learned experiences, past beliefs, past programming. Until you uncover and clear that and heal that, you're carrying all this stuff around you that's not yours. And you're going to move a lot more easier, more faster, more effective without carrying all the stuff with you. So one question you can ask yourself to see if there's any unconscious conflict. You're lasered into your vision. Think of that. And ask yourself, why can't you have or achieve this level of success? The vision you're thinking of. And for some of you, you're like, what do you mean? I know it. That's not what I'm asking. See if the subconscious mind comes up with something. As you think of your vision, what feels unsafe about experiencing and achieving and having that vision? For her, it was the fear of visibility, with the root of it being perfectionism. She grew up as a good girl. Everything had to be perfect all the time. And it plays out from a child and how she's operating now as a business owner. That got her here, but it's not going to get her there without a cost until we release that. So what comes up for you as you ask yourself those questions? For another client, he was following all the strategies that worked for others. He had created success, but he felt disconnected from his vision. He had the vision, but there was something that was off, and it was leading for him to feel burnout and stress. Not that any of you are going to admit that. You just keep going. But the disconnect for him was connecting him to his deeper why. And these can seem obvious as I'm speaking them to you, but again, I'm taking masterminds that are already at high 6, 7, 8 figures. And it's about refining. It's about fine-tuning, connecting you to your deeper why and your vision. And once we reconnected him to his vision, his deeper why, immediately he saw where the stopgaps were. Immediately he saw where his bottlenecks were. Immediately he saw where he was operating in old paradigm, old frequency of doubt, of playing small. There's a classic, such a small example, but the classic one I like to use is the difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. Feel the energy of that for a moment. How do you show up when you're in the energy and the frequency of playing to win? It's a knowing. There's no doubt. The decisions, the actions, the choices that you make are very different, have a very different energy and frequency than the person who's playing not to lose. Tentative. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And again, this isn't obvious things that might come up for us. But as I take you through this process, this visionary alignment program that I'm doing next week, you begin to see, where are you operating from? Where is my frequency at? Is the vision I have actually the one that I want now, or is it shifted? Okay, it is the one I want, but how do I refine that? And then the how-to action strategy gets revealed. But without a North Star, just like in Google Maps we brought up earlier, we know where we're at. Look at your current paradigm. You know what results you've created. That's your starting point. Just like in Google Maps, you have to have 2 things for the path to get revealed. Your starting point, here you are. Your current paradigm, your current frequency, what's creating that, your identity, your beliefs, the unhealed shit that we get to heal. The second thing is your vision, your North Star. What happens when you have those 2 points in Google Maps? Bloop. 3 blue lines appear. Notice there's not one path, there's multiple paths. But there is a more aligned, effective, useful, and faster path for you. The first start of that, though, is to understand what your North Star is. So for this question, I want you to ask yourself, if you are already living your next level vision, you see it, you feel it, you're experiencing it, if you're already living that, what decisions and actions would feel natural to you right now? Because this version of you that's created what you have right now, it's great, it got you here, but it's not going to get us there. The version of you who already has that level of success, freedom, fulfillment, inner peace, wealth, lifestyle, thinks different, acts different, makes different decisions. And there's things that feel safe to them that don't feel safe to you right now. The version of that, the second example, visibility feels safe to that version of her who has her success. And she's not operating perfectionism. But the current version of her was operating perfectionism. So the gap, the path you create with that North Star helps you refine, are the current actions and strategies and how to you're taking right now even in alignment with that? Or are we wasting precious time and resources? And for those who are feeling like they're not as connected to their vision, there's a reason why. How we can connect that and how we can actually have the how-to and then the strategy and actions that come forward are by first clarifying this. So, I'm really curious to see what comes up for you, but this is for the visionary who is looking to refine their vision or expand their thinking. Like another client who came to me and said, Danny, I'm a part of this new mastermind and these women think different. Yeah, they do. Because in order to get different, you have to think different. You have to be different. You can't just do different. The action we're taking, it's not about the action itself, it's about how behind it, just like we just demonstrated. So for her, I asked her a fun question. Ask yourself this. As I asked this question, another guy came up and objected right away, which was so much fun, because see if it comes up for you. So for her to expand her thinking, this wasn't the only question, we talked through a process. But for the visionary looking to expand it, play with this. If you had to 2x, 5x, or 10 times your business in the next 6 months, Already notice what's coming up for your mind. The doubt, the fear, like, yeah, whatever, it's not possible. Whatever, just observe. Just observe. If you had to 2, 5, or 10x your business in the next 6 months, what would be the most uncomfortable or scariest thing that you would do? And immediately this man goes, well, I wouldn't want to sacrifice my values. Who said you had to? Why do we think that we have to sacrifice our values in order to achieve the lifestyle and desires and success that we want? Observe the belief. Observe the capacity of what we've acclimatized ourselves to. Observe the edge. To expand beyond that, we got to move through that. We have to challenge the current frequency and paradigm that we've created. So what comes up for you with that question? Notice any, or observe any awareness around the chatter. Notice any stress in the body. Notice any expansiveness in the body. Just a question. You don't got to do anything. But to expand your vision, this is for you. Or to reconnect you with your vision, like that gentleman who had his vision, but he was disconnected from his deeper why. This is for you. And I am operating and opening up the Visionary Alignment Program live next Tuesday. We're going to run it live a couple times first. And I encourage you to show up live. One, because I can coach you. And it's way more fun in Potency. We need to work through the blocks. We need to shift them right then and there. And if you can't make it live, come to the replay. The replay will be posted. This is a resource that you can use monthly or quarterly to recalibrate, to reinvigorate, to reactivate your bigger vision through quantum principles, through clearing internal stuff that's going to come up inevitably, and aligning you with the frequency of your highest timeline. What is created right here, right now is beautiful. But remember, you're tuned into a radio station. Let's use this metaphor. To tune into your desired radio station, which first you have to make sure is yours and not something you should think you're doing, the next logical step, just because you built something like the girl doing sales calls. It's your vision. You're connected to it. It's aligned for you in your highest timeline. In order to do that, we have to recognize what created this frequency. So if I'm tuned into 98.5 right now, and I want to tune into 103.5, I can't do that in this current frequency. I have to shift. But the first part is the North Star. Okay, 103.5, great. I'm going to walk you through that process. I go beyond traditional surface level approaches. This is not going to be some goal setting thing. This is a recalibration refinement for you. We're going to go through energetic strategies and tools needed to manifest your desired timeline. But without the North Star, the how-to and action strategies won't get revealed. This program is designed for visionary entrepreneurs who are scaling, but maybe feel like they're not fully aligned with their highest vision, or something feels off, or looking to expand their vision like I mentioned before. The frequency that allowed you to scale to where you're at right now is not the same frequency that we're scaling to where we're going. Sit with that for a sec. Recognize that. It's not about doing more at this level. It is not about doing more. Refinement, potency, quality, intentionality. So I invite you. This version, this Visionary Alignment program, this version of doing it live will be next week. It'll be, all the details are linked in the bio. You can just send me the word visionary, either in the story or comment, or send me a DM. I'll send it through to you. You'll have access to the replay, which you can visit again and again. But this is for the visionary looking to refine, reconnect, and expand their vision. Recognizing that right now, everyone has blind spots. Everyone has holes in the bucket. This is going to help you clarify all of that. Really tune into your North Star. And then watch what happens, just like it happened for so many people in the masterminds. Watch what happens and gets revealed for you once you're finished through this. So if you're interested, send me a DM, visionary, comment below, visionary, or go to the link in the bio. Details are there. I'm so looking forward to having you there. Regardless, take a pulse check. When's the last time you truly connected into your vision? And is it truly your vision, or are you just building it because you have, and it's the next logical step, the thing you think you should be doing? Or is it truly one that pulls you forward and expands you? Only you know. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your comments below. Otherwise, team, so good to see all of your faces. So good to connect with you on a different time zone. Oh my gosh, love this. And I will see you guys next Tuesday.